Hey everybody, it's Benny One, and I'm back at you with another movie review, and we're kicking off the Friday the 13th movie review series, everybody, which will lead into a ranking after I'm done watching all the Friday the 13ths. I'm excited to actually sit down and review these and then rank these, because last year I was going to do a ranking after I just rewatched them because I wasn't reviewing them. But I'm excited to review these and rank them because these aren't the Friday the 13th movies are not some of the best made movies when you talk about the script, the writing, the characters, for God's sakes. Because most of these Friday the 13th movies are full of characters that you could give two shits about, and they're all throwaway characters pretty much. Even the main ones that end up, going through the whole movie and the survivors, they're not well written characters. But that's not really why you watch the Friday the 13th movies. The kills are just crazy. The production value is it's funny to me, honestly, when I rewatch these. So, and the first one that we're starting off with that came out in 1980 is very unique because this one has a different killer in it than the rest of them. That is correct. Jason is not the killer in the first Friday the 13th movie. You wouldn't think that when you see Jason. Jason is the big, iconic killer, murder with the hockey mask thing, of this franchise. But the franchise started out with a different killer, actually. So, and that's kind of what plays into this movie is that it's almost there's a murderer going around at Camp Crystal Lake, and the freaking camp counselors are all at Camp Crystal Lake, and there's just this mysterious murderer going around killing them all, one by one. And the interesting thing about this first movie is that it's really from a first person point of view. When the kills are happening, you don't really get to see the juicy parts of them being murdered like you do later in this franchise, because that's really what it's about. I mean, you're watching a horror movie with Michael Myers, Jason, or Freddy. You want to see the blood and you want to see the guts. I'm not saying I'm into people dying or anything, but when you go into these movies, that's what you're watching them for. You're watching them for the brutal kills. And this first one, we don't really get that. Like I said, we get a first-person view of a hand moving a tree and watching very creepily. Or when an axe is going to slash somebody in this movie, you see the axe in the hand, and then you see the axe over here from a point at the camera's pointing at the axe, and then you see it swing down into the person going, ah! And that's it. You don't really get any more than that. That's the thing that's different about this movie in the franchise. They do kind of keep that in the other movies here and there. They keep the stocky creepiness part for sure with Jason, but in this one, it's just different. It's that whole first person aspect of the kills, and it's very interesting, a very different take on the slasher genre when this movie came out, because you had Halloween before this, and it was very different at the time, and that was the whole thing. They wanted to do something different with the Friday the 13th franchise, and I would say they successfully did that. So Betsy Palmer plays Mrs. Voorhees, and she is the killer. If you haven't seen the first Friday the 13th, I'm sorry. She's the killer. She is not. So Jason's mom is actually the one that is the killer in the first Friday the 13th movie. And they don't reveal it literally until there's 20 minutes left of the movie. It is almost the end of the movie when she finally shows up acting like a person that's there to help them. And then you realize that, holy shit, this older lady, she's not really old, but she's probably in her late 40s, 50s, has been killing all these people, these freaking camp counselors, these young kids, it's just like, it's a little far-fetched to believe, but it's a horror slasher movie, so, and Kevin Bacon is in this damn movie, people. That is correct. Another huge actor making his debut in films in a horror movie. Johnny Depp did it in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. It's just crazy. Paul Rudd did it in the sixth Halloween movie. Like, I love that these guys get their starts in like a bigger acting in a movie, like a role in a movie, and it's always a horror movie. So, and Kevin Bacon is most definitely one of the people that goes down for sure. He's actually one of the cooler kills in the movie because he's laying on a bed and all of a sudden a hand comes up and covers his mouth and bam, it stabs him through the freaking chest stomach area. That's one of the kills in the movie that you actually get to see the brutality of it. So, which is very rare in this one. So, but overall, I mean, this first Friday the 13th movie, yeah, it's different. It's unique. You can tell that it was very cheaply made. A lot of these Friday the 13th movies were, unfortunately, the budget, production value, and all that stuff. So I won't really dive into that part of these movies too much because they're all pretty low budget type horror movies. But they're all about the kills, man. They are all about the unique ways that Jason eventually starts killing people. But this first one, his mom does a pretty damn good job. I'm not gonna lie. She does a pretty good job, and she's a lot older than all these camp counselors, and she takes a shit ton of them out. And it sets up this entire franchise that has been running strong for a long time. We haven't had a new one in quite a while because I think that remake came out in like 2011 or 12, I think, something like that. So it's been a little while since we've gotten one, but it's a pretty strong franchise. I think there's like 12 movies or something now. So, but overall, this first Friday the 13th, sorry, I'm rambling. It's okay for me. I think in a way, it's a bummer that it's not Jason, but the way the movie ends with the nasty Jason body coming out of the water to take down the Alice chick, to set up the next movie and the rest of the franchise, I think it's a good way to lead into the rest of the franchise. And the whole reason his mom was killing these camp counselors is because her son, Jason, always got bullied at Camp Crystal Lake, and the counselors didn't do anything about it. And when he got pushed in the lake and drowned because he didn't know how to swim, the camp counselors were just sitting on the shore, making out, not doing their jobs, and that's why she got pissed. And years later, she decided, you know what? I'm gonna kill you fuckers because you let my son die, and I'm crazy. So, overall, I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10. It's not one of my like favorite Friday the 13th movies. It's kind of in the middle of the pack when it comes to those movies. So yeah, guys, a 7 out of 10 for the first Friday the 13th, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Thanks for watching, and I'll be catching you on the tube laters because I have spoken.